He tells me, like, you need to figure out how to win them over because they're not happy. I never knew you were coming, but look at God. So, today I'm going to talk about my worst serving experience. And, yeah. I dang near got fired! Well, I actually wanted to get fired. I guess I should say I dang near quit because they had me messed up. It was so stressful. The place that I was working at is called the Melting Pot. And no offense to the Melting Pot. Some offense. Maybe all offense. No offense to the Melting Pot. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings while I'm telling this story, but it's just the truth. This is what happened to me, and it was terrible. It made me very angry. Okay, so I'm going to explain what the Melting Pot is. Let me start there. Okay, so it's a fondue restaurant, and fondue is melted cheese. So as a server at the Melting Pot, you greet the table. You see whether they're doing all 4 courses or if they're only doing something different, which 9 times out of 10 the person is going to do all 4 courses.
With that being said, we take their order all at once, which is kind of a long process because I gotta ask, you also cook your own meat there. So we make the cheese. We have to see what kind of cheese they want and how many servings they want, because sometimes if it's 4 people at the table, you would think that they would get 4 servings, but no, sometimes people want to share a serving, So we see how many servings they want, and then what kind of cheese they want, and then after the cheese, we see what kind of salad they want, and then after the salad, we take an order for the meats that they want, and they had like 5 different like pre-made meat selections, or you can get a vegetarian one, and you can create your own with like 4 or 5 different types of meats. So I get all of that order too, and then from the meats, the chocolate, we bring out a separate chocolate menu.
So mind you, all of that I explained is the same thing. The way I just explained that to you, I have to explain that to the customer. So it's a lot of explaining off rip when you get there. I think before anybody goes to the Melting Pot, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about going to the Melting Pot, do your research before you go so you can know what you want when you get there. It's going to be easier on you, and it's going to be easier on your server or waitress or whatever. It's going to be easier. And that's for any restaurant, not just the Melting Pot. Do your research before you go out to eat anywhere, especially anywhere different that you've never been before. Moving on. I explained all of that so you can know what we're getting into. So, not only was I a server, I was also a bartender there. And at this point, it's only one bartender. So I worked a lot. And I'm no stranger to work, and I don't mind working, but I worked a lot.
When I mean a lot, I work hard. So I'm working. So anywho, I'm a bartender and I'm a server there. And sometimes when you get a table, it's not just 2 people. And at the bar, I would help customers that come in and like that are waiting on their table or waiting for the reservation. And sometimes I have regulars that would come in and just want to sit and chill with me and talk, and sometimes they get to all 4 courses. I don't mind talking to people at the bar also, but then this was something that I already was complaining about because I was really good at my job. So they expected me to do everything all the time. So not only was I bartending, having to keep up with my bartending customers, they gave me a party because I was good at what I do. So, and I already told them, like, I don't like bartending and working tables at the same time. It's
a mess. It's too much. Every once in a while, I wouldn't have minded, like, if I get a couple parties or a couple tables in Lover's Lane, because it's only 2 people, maybe 1 or 2. But mind you, this is not no regular serving position. You don't go to the back, grab a plate, bring it up there. No.
I have to make the cheese. Not only do I have to make the cheese, I have to set up the cheese in the back on my own. Sometimes they did help, but this wasn't one of those days. So not only do I have to go to the back, I have to take the order of each of those customers, get all 4 courses, gotta get their cheese, gotta get their salads, I have to get their meats. And not only the meats, some people, it's not like everybody just picks the pre-selected ones. A lot of people want to do the create your own. So I have to write down each individual meats that they get, and then at the end they get a chocolate. And a lot of tables, they don't know their chocolate. So we have to revisit that later.
So this already just sounds like, if you've ever been to the melting pot before, you know it's not no quick process. You should never expect to get in and get out. So anybody who has never been, I'm letting you know now, you should never expect to just get in and get out unless you're only doing one course and you eat fast. Okay, but if not, no. I explained all of that to say they put me on the party, and it's supposed to be me and the assistant manager. We're both on this table. And the party room has 3 tables. 2 tables has 3 pots on it, and 1 main table has 6 pots on it. See, it was a birthday party, and it was about 10 to 12 people. And people still was like coming in. So it was just like, okay, here we go. So of course, they put the assistant manager and me on it because I guess this is supposed to be a power duo or whatever, who knows. I had time to do the party, okay? I had time. I didn't want to do it because I already complained about having to do both, because I just didn't like having to do both. But if it's really, really slow, then whatever. The parties, when it comes to 10 to 12 people and you're doing 4 courses,
6 pots, and I have to make 6 pots of cheese, 6 cooking styles. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you I gotta add the cooking style. Not also with the meat, we got 6 pots. So that means that these 10 to 12 people have to agree on between 4 different cooking styles. And I have to wait. It helps sometimes, but wait. We get to the table, we separate, start taking orders. Not only that, we gotta get their drink orders too, because people, they want a drink. So we're taking their orders, getting their drinks. Mind you, I was bartending because I had to make some of their drinks too. This is ridiculous. So, we go to the table, we greet them, we take their orders, and everything was just cool. We just started strong, trying to get them in, get them out. It's late. We'll be here all night at the end because, you gotta clean up. So, we get their orders, we go to the bag, we start setting up the cheese, which we already kind of pre-set it up because we knew how many people was coming, so we just made sure we pre-set up. Oh, because I gotta set up the bread tray, because this is the stuff that they're gonna use to dip in their cheese. So, we had that already set up. Then when we got their cheese, that's when we start building the cheese. And once you build the cheese, we gotta get how many servings, so we're building the servings. Boom. So before you leave the table, since we already had stuff pre-set up, we turn on the burners because we gotta come back and let the water boil up, so when the pot is hot, that's when we start making our cheese. So, turned on the burners, went to the back to go finish setting up the cheese, came out. And the assistant manager, he also had other tables or something, I think, so he out there handling the other tables. So, I'm just getting started. So I take the trays out there with all the pots and stuff that we need for cheese, get out there, and he was gonna meet me in there, so we dropped it off. I dropped off 1 tray, went to the back, grabbed the other tray, dropped it off, and then started to make one of the pots of cheese.
So at this point, I think I've made 2 pots, and I have 1 more pot to go, and he's going to come, and he's going to do the other side. So while I'm finishing up the 2nd pot of cheese, I'm in between the birthday chick and her grandma. So I'm making the cheese, and the birthday chick starts telling a story. And she's like, yeah, I remember, oh, this is me making the cheese, this is what I'm doing. Telling a story like, yeah, I remember I worked with this girl, and it's this black girl, and she just be talking how she could get so ghetto, and she do be getting ghetto, and it's so crazy. And I'm just like, girl, you ghetto. And I'm just sitting there making the cheese like, okay, I hear you. So now in my head, after she started doing that, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to ignore it. That was a stupid story to tell, and I know you're trying to be funny because I'm sitting right here. But no, it sounds like to me, first of all, ghetto is not a personality. It's technically a neighborhood. But if you want to talk about somebody being ghetto, ghetto is how y'all acted up in this restaurant. That's what's ghetto. Moving on. So she sells that story, and I'm like... So I finish making that pot of cheese, and I move on because at this point, I'm like, we got to hurry up and get them out of here. Only on the first course. The first course, and y'all trying me, but you know what? Whatever. Moving on to the next spot. I'm just smiling, ignoring her, and I move to the next spot. But then, y'all, why? So in the party room, sometimes when you reset the tables, if you don't put enough water in the pot, or if you wait too long to get to the pot, it's water in these pots, so it'll start to steam out. And then once it starts steaming out, it starts smelling weird. Boy! So I'm like, dang, of course this will happen when I'm trying to get them up out of here. So they in there, they couldn't wait. Oh my god, it smells terrible in here. I just stopped. I didn't even acknowledge none of them. I just said, ooh, I'm sorry. The pot burnt out of water. And then I said, it's okay, no big deal. I'll just switch it out. So I grabbed, because you remember I said it's about 13 pots in this room. So I took it off that table, put it on a different table, grabbed another pot, put it on that table, turn the burner back on, take the pot out the room. So they're like, we want to see your manager. I'm like, okay. So I go get the manager at the time, and he gets on everybody's nerves. That's all I'm going to say about him. No shade. Palm trees. But he goes in there and he talks to him. I go to the back to go, I put the pot away. I came back while they complaining, and they trying to whisper about it. And I'm like, I really don't care. I truly don't care. But it's not like you knew the type of person that I was. I am not mean to anybody, nor do I walk around with an attitude. That's not me. That's not what I do. So I'm in there, even though this is all happening, I'm still trying to be professional. Because, I'm like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do what I got to do. And just to get them up out of here. And just to keep my composure. And I'm at work. So it is what it is. I'm being at work, Taisha. That's me. I'm being at work, Princess Ty. So he comes to the back. I'm on my way back in there. He tells me, like, you need to figure out how to win them over because they're not happy and they're not happy. And I'm like, okay. Like, what? What you want me to say? Oh, yes, Sizer, do it right now. I can't wait to get in there. They're not happy. We got to get them happy. No. Okay. Duh. Obviously, they're not happy. They said manager, so of course they're not happy. I go in there, I go make the new cheese. So I bring out more dippers, and then while I'm making the new cheese, they complaining. And they like, why does this look like it's not enough cheese in here? How can you tell that it's enough of a serving? Ma'am, because we portion them out in the back, and we pre-portion them when we get here. Well, it doesn't look like it's enough cheese to me. Oh, and you didn't even take my order. And I'm just like, I was in here 17 times and so was the manager. Why didn't you give him your order since I didn't take your order? I took all of y'all order because I already let y'all know that the take an order process is a long process. It's not like it take me 2 minutes to take an order. I have to get 4 courses from 10 to 12 people. 4 courses. And you mean to tell me, so that whole process, you never once thought like, well, is she going to take my order? Excuse me, ma'am. You didn't get my order. Oh, problem resolved. In course 1. You want to wait till we working on bringing salads out to start complaining about not getting your order. So I'm just like, this is in my head, in the back. Because, in my mind, when you serve it, you just in the repair mode. Especially with a complaining table, you're in repair mode. So everything is like solution. I got to get y'all out of here. Okay, you said I didn't take your order. What would you like to eat? Do you need me to grab your menu? Okay, so what would you like? Well, I don't know anymore. I think I just want cheese and okay, well, what cheese would you like? What cheese she has? Spinach artichoke. I think I want that. And so you're just gonna, so what are you gonna do? Just pour it in the pot right here and just mix it in with their already made cheese?
So you just gonna bring me a birthday gift on my birthday to my birthday party on my birthday with a birthday gift? Happy birthday?
I'm just going to put it in the new pot on one of the other tables, and then I'm going to bring the pot over here. Well, okay, and I don't think that you got my salad either. Okay, what salad would you like? I want a house salad. Okay, I'll go make sure they make that right now. Anything else? Okay, I'll be back. So I leave again. Mind you, I got about 7 minutes worth of silence, okay? 7 minutes. And that was because they were shoving meat in their mouth. All of them. The dad, the little brother, all of them. Granddad just shoving meat in their mouth. I'm sure they liked it. That was the least I heard them complain. But it wasn't much to complain about because they was cooking their own meat. But they did complain a little bit like, well, is this enough pieces of meat? You don't let the server and the kitchen staff do what they supposed to do here? Goodness. I go to the back, and this is what showed me that they was acting a plumb dumb fool on purpose. Because while I'm in the back, mind you, the manager has been in the room about 7 times. He's been taking them stuff now at this point. They done put him to work too. So now they got 3 people in this room. And they putting him to work. He taking them refills. I'm taking them refills. The other manager's taking them refills. So I go and I just left from the room and I took them a refill. But this is how I knew they was playing, because as I'm walking to the back, the dad and the little brother are coming past me. So they're leaving from the bathroom and I'm going back to the kitchen as I just left from the party room. And while we're passing, the dad says, "Hey, while you're back there, can you grab me a Coke refill?" Okay, I got you on that. Because you coming out the bathroom and you asking for refills. Like we ain't been up in that room all day, because they've been complaining to the manager saying I've been taking too long to bring back refills. But I also have to set up everything that they have out there. But you know, they don't know that. Even though I didn't already explain it to them when they was complaining. And I'm sure the manager explained it to them when they were complaining to him. And the other manager, he didn't shut down because he mad. So he ain't talking to him because he just sick of hearing them complain. So he just in there. And I'm like, manager. I'm in there being normal because I'm like, I ain't about to let them get me all fired up. I'm just trying to do what I got to do to get them out here. Okay, you complaining? Okay, what else? Okay, you complaining? Okay, what we doing? Okay, what you want? Okay, all right, let me go get it. So he said that in passing on the way back from the bathroom, talking about, can you give me a Coke refill? Yes, I can. And I went in the back and I filled up a Coke. And I took it out there and I set it on the table so he could feel stupid. I set it next to his already full other Coke that I just dropped off. Because I just came back from the party room. What you thought I was doing in there? Just dancing? I don't like y'all like that. What type of energy were y'all giving me that makes you think that I'm just in the room just to look at you? Because no. Servers already have it on their mind. Like every time a server is doing something, 9 times out of 10, what's on their mind is, what does this table need? What do I need to get for my table? Okay, I'm done with this table. What do I need to get for that table? I'm done with this table. What do I need to get for that table? So I already know that you need refills. Because y'all eating now. So I know I had this good 7 minutes worth of silence. So the one thing that I was doing was bringing in some refills. So I set his full Coke next to his other full Coke. And he said, "Wow, I'm sorry, I hadn't even realized that you already brought it." Yeah, you hadn't even realized. None of you have realized that I've been doing everything that you're asking, and you're still trying to find something to complain about. So that's when I knew. I'm like, oh, y'all playing me. And it all started with that ghetto story, talking about this black girl, she gets so ghetto. Okay. So I bring that refill out and I said, I smiled when he said that. And I dropped off chocolate menus. Because I've been trying to get them to think about chocolate since they sat down. Like, chocolate is 10 to 12 of y'all, and they all got to agree on 6 different chocolates. So I just want to make sure that y'all be thinking about it. Because if you don't think about it, you're going to be sitting there for a minute. I don't know. Do I want that? I don't know. Do you want it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. So I'm planting the chocolate seed. Because chocolate is the final course. So we getting them out of here. So I'm like, yeah, we own chocolate. Let's do what we got to do. I'm in the kitchen like, come on, y'all. Let's get this chocolate together. Let's set us up. We're on the 4th course. Let's get them in, get them out. Because at this point, they're the last table in there. They're the last people in there. The kitchen can't go home. I can't go home because I'm working on the table. The manager can't go home because there's still customers in here. So nobody can leave until they leave. So we just trying to get them out. We on chocolate. So we like, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Okay, we on chocolate. Take their chocolate order. Take the chocolate out there. Then that's when they started spazzing. That's when they really started showing their true colors. They getting fired up. And I honestly truly think that they was getting nervous that the bill was about to come and they didn't got no money. But anyways, let me finish telling the story. So, I bring out the chocolate and they're like, this doesn't look like enough. I don't understand why this just looks like you didn't give us enough. It just looks so little. And we gave them extra in the back. So we knew we gave them enough. We gave them more than they needed. We gave them more than they needed. And I'm just like, well, it just depends on the portion you got. It may look a little different because you have an uneven number of portions. And they're like, and so the grandma gonna lean over and say, and I'm still passing out stuff. I passed out plates, and now at this point I'm on silverware. So while I'm grabbing the silverware, I hear the grandma say, if anybody tips her, I will slap them. If anybody tips her, I will slap them. So I put the forks down on the tray and I said, okay, grab your own forks. And then I walked out. So at this point, I'm going to go grab the extra stuff that they saying that they didn't get. Because I'm like, okay, I'm about to grab the extra stuff and I got the bill. Because at this point, you got to go. Tip me or no tip me, I just want you out of this restaurant. So I go to the back. Like I told them when I was in the back, I said, don't give me no little dipper because they out here complaining about everything. Just give me all big dippers. And they're like, we already gave them enough extra stuff. We're not going to give them anything else. They're going to get the single serving dipper because that's what they're getting. We already gave them extra chocolate, so you can take them out. That's the smaller dipper with the 2 bigger dippers. I said, whatever. Okay. So I got the bill and I got those dippers. 3 more dippers. So there's a big dipper, and then there's a smaller one. So I got 2 big ones and 1 smaller one. Take the dippers out there. I take the bill out there. I put the bill down. I put the dippers, start spreading the dippers out. I put the 2 big ones down and I put the small one down. And so when I put the small dipper down, the lady says, what is this? Why is this smaller than the other ones? And then I said, oh, that one is smaller than the other 2 because that other one over there is for sharing, and then that one is for individual person, and you got an uneven number. She said, why are you arguing? This is the grandma now. Why are you arguing? What are you arguing for? Just shut up and go get it. I said, and then they both started yelling at me at the same time, like, yeah, why are you arguing? Yeah, I said, whoa, no. I'm not dealing with this shit. And then I walk out the room. And they're like, we want to speak to him. I'm like, manager. Mind you, the manager is standing right there at the bar leaning like this, just watching everything. Like, the managers with an S have been in the room this whole time, and you've still been complaining the whole time. The manager, there has been 2 managers in the room and a very good server. Me. Okay? 3 people in the room the whole time because you have been complaining the whole night. So after I say, no, I'm not dealing with this. I walk out the room, I say manager, and I go to the bag, and I go grab my bag. And now I'm fired up because I'm like, I want to beat you up in the parking lot fired up. I want to figure out which car is yours so I can slash your tires fired up. I want to fight every single family member that you brought up to this table fired up. That's how mad I am. So I'm grabbing my bag and I'm just like, you know what? Yep, bye everybody. Nice meeting you. I'm hugging everybody in the kitchen. All the servers that's left over. Hi. Yeah, it was nice meeting you all. I'm out of here forever. Goodbye forever. They got me messed up. I really want to fight in the parking lot, but I'm not having it. They in there acting crazy, and I gotta go. So the other guy he's the new manager now, but he was working in the kitchen. Then he stops me like, no, calm down. It's okay. You're not getting fired. That table was some BS. Blah, blah, blah. So then the manager's in there talking to him after all of this happened. And while I'm in the back, he asked to come talk to me in the office. So we in the office talking, and I'm standing there like this, like, with my book bag on, mad. Like, can I get my last check? Like, where my check at? And I'll come back and get the next one. And he like, you know, your behavior in there costed this restaurant $300. And I said, because you knew in my mind, I knew that he was going to give him a discount probably because of all that complaining they was doing. They did all that work doing on this complaining fiasco. I'm like, okay, yeah, he probably going to give them a discount. But when he said I cost the restaurant $300, do you know that man let them leave? Do you know that man let them leave that restaurant without paying a dime? Alcohol included? Without paying a dime. He gave them all of their food for free. Everything. All of that work I did, all of that clowning, running in and out of their room.
Free. Free.
On the party table, that means you ain't getting no other tables because this table is going to take up so much of your time. He said, you costed this restaurant $300. I said, no. You chose to give them their food for free. You costed this restaurant $300. And I looked at him. And I walked out the room. For free. I only had that one table. And I'm still a little salty about it because I'm like, I really allowed all of that to happen. It took me to the 4th course to realize I'm not dealing with this shit. And then for me to get to the back and him to let me know that he gave them all their food for free because of my behavior, when I did everything that they asked. Everything. Let me tell you about karma though. Let me tell you about the that they received the next day. So, of course, after dealing with that stressful event, they didn't fire me. And I ended up staying just because I've been working on my mental. Because I'm like, I had a tendency of like, only reason I dealt with that for so long is because I had a tendency of fleeing from confrontation. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to deal with stuff instead of just fleeing. So this is my mindset at the melting pot at this time. So stuff was going left and it was making me mad. But I wasn't fleeing because I was working on dealing with confrontation. So the next day, like I said, I had this stressful day, this stressful night with Saggy Patty and her dirty family. And me and Chantel go to get our feet done because, you know, I just needed to vent. We sit under the dryer letting our feet dry. Why did I turn around and see Dirty Draws Deborah finishing up getting her feet done? The birthday girl, the birthday chick from the night before. Bad back Saggy Betty. Okay, I'm done. But anyways, we look back, we see her and her friend, and they look at me, and they're like, and I look at them, like, oh, you didn't know we could catch you outside, huh? Hello there. So I just start acting crazy just because, you know, because this is what y'all get. Y'all thought that y'all was going to be acting a fool and y'all didn't know that y'all could see us outside because y'all thought servers only lived inside of a restaurant. But no, baby, we go outside. There's stuff to do out there and we could pull up on you. I could see you outside of this restaurant. Don't forget about that when y'all in there acting crazy toward these servers. Tip your servers, tip your bartenders, tip them while y'all acting crazy because we can catch y'all outside, especially if you acting a fool just to get some free food because you didn't bring enough money because your daddy left his wallet and they was all sitting in the car and making a bet like, I bet we can go to the melting pot and get our food for free. All we got to do is just be mean to the waitress and pretend like she's doing terrible. Get our $300 bill waived. So I caught them outside. I see them over there, so I just started crazy. I said,
glorious!
I did put the sugar in the right tank in the parking lot. See, I told you. Ooh, child, this done got real ghetto up in here, huh? Child, the ghetto, honey.
Glorious! Glorious! Revenge!
I love putting Snickers in tanks, and I think we did slash the right tires. So, while I'm doing that, they get up. My friend looking at me like, girl. And she laughing. And then, while I'm saying all of that, they get up and they rush to the cash register and they pay. And they looking at me and then they just run out the door. And I'm like, whew.
Glorious.
I didn't do any of those things. I never knew you were coming, but look at God. But for real though, they needed to know, like, hey, you don't know who you talking to. And as scared as you got, it looks like you don't have enough strength to be out here talking to people like that. Because if I wanted to, and I wanted to get up, and I wanted to drag you, then I could have. Because I caught you outside. So watch who you talking to. Tip your servers. And this was a funny story time. I hope you guys enjoy. I actually have more than this story. Because, like I said, I was just going through it in my head. Trying to learn how to stand up and deal with confrontation. And that was a good place. It taught me how to respectfully state things. It taught me how to calmly let you know that you got messed up. And I think I kind of mastered it a little bit. Sometimes my heart still be like, when I gotta handle something, but I know how to calmly handle it still. My heart be doing this. But my voice sounds like this when it happens. Ma'am, you got me f***ed up. Please watch your mouth when you're talking to me. I know I'm smiling, but I'm about that action. You talking to me in here crazy, I could catch you outside in the parking lot. Thanks for watching.